Quick disclaimer. I am not at all emotionally prepared to film this video in any way. I am an emotional wreck at the moment. So, any mention of the last episode by myself may cause me to cry, or leave, or flop over. Yeah. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So, yeah, the last episode. Holy fuck, it was amazing. It was so well shot. The cinematography, the characters, like, I can't handle how good it was. I mean, you have Jon, who, you know, he's leading his army and he's on his feet in the battlefield. You know, when he unsheaths Longclaw in front of all of these men, when he's ready to fight to the death. You have Tormund, who's just like going insane and trying to fight, even though he pretty much knows he's fucked, killing small Jon Umber, biting his fucking throat out. And then you have fucking Davos, follow your commander, and he's like fighting even though he knows he's shit at it. And then you have Ramsay, who's just chilling to one side quite casually, and then fucking Baelish shows up, and I lost my shit. Okay, I really shouldn't have mentioned that episode, because now I just want to talk about it, but I'm not going to. This is a season 6 finale trailer breakdown. So I'm going to go through each shot in the episode, and I'm going to try not to talk about the last episode too much, because, like, it was amazing. It was so good. It was just so good. Okay, I'm doing it again. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm not going to try to talk about the last episode too much. I'm just going to talk you through what is happening in the season 6 finale trailer, and I'm going to be talking about kind of theories for each shot, what I think is going to be happening in this episode, how I think these storylines are kind of going to be wrapped up for the end of season. But how good was the last episode, guys? But Jon won. Did anyone else, like, squeal when the Stark banner fell back down? And, like, Starks are back in Winterfell. Okay, let's jump right in. Also, if you did this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, any questions, comments, requests, or you have any theories of your own regarding what I'm talking about in this video, do comment below and I will get back to you, but I probably will force you to talk about the last episode with me. Okay, so the season 6 finale trailer, like, get hype, guys, get hype. I mean, there's no way it's going to top the last episode. Nothing will ever top the last episode ever again, but it's going to be awesome. We're going to see a bunch of storylines that have been running throughout this season coming to a head. We're going to see all kinds of different things happening, and I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait. I will be doing what I did yesterday, where I stayed up till 2 AM British time to watch the episode. And I've watched the Battle of the Bastards 4 times since yesterday morning. I watched it at 2 AM, then I watched it before work, then I watched it twice after work, and I'm going to watch it again after I film this. Too much. Too much. Okay, so, first shot in the trailer. This is of Cersei. She is standing alone, her back to the camera. I presume here she is awaiting her trial. She is waiting to go in and be tried by the 7. However, I don't think it's going to obviously be that simple. Cersei has got some kind of plan. She must have. And I think I'm kind of realising what her plan is in relation to a shot later on in the trailer that I will talk about when we get there. But here's the thing, Cersei must have a plan, and I think here she is just waiting, kind of maybe consolidating her plan, kind of gathering her thoughts and her strength to go into her trial, which I think in the long run will be irrelevant, because I think that Cersei does have some kind of bigger plan. She must have some kind of scheming plan to win this trial by 7. She knows the High Sparrow wants her dead. She knows the High Sparrow is going to do all he goddamn can to make sure those Septons find her guilty. She must have something up her sleeve. Okay, then we have this shot of Margaery having her hair braided and Tommen being newly crowned and blessed by the faith of the 7, as the High Sparrow speaks over them, and he says, "Are you prepared to stand trial? Profess your guilt or innocence." So this is kind of Margaery prepping for Loras' trial, I presume. You know, she's saying she's all newly religious and with the faith, and she's probably just preparing to go and kind of watch Loras be tried, and obviously she's got another plan as well. Like, if I was to talk about everyone's plans, this video would be like 40 minutes long. She's got something planned. There's no way she's going to let Loras get in trouble or give up his heir to Highgarden. We know Margaery is playing the game against the Sparrows, so I think that some of what she's planning, or at least kind of how she is planning it, will be revealed in this episode. And then we have Tommen. He's being newly crowned and blessed by the faith. He's still a naive little fucker, and he's probably, I'm calling it, I think he's going to die this episode. I can't see him surviving till the next season. His character, the whole point of his character, is to introduce the faith taking over. You know, at this point he is just a puppet of the faith. I can't see him really lasting beyond this episode. I don't see him next season. That's just my opinion. I think he is gonna be killed. And then we have the High Sparrow walking into the Sept. He is clearly going to attend the trials of Loras and Cersei. I don't know if he's actually allowed to take part in the trial, because I think it is Septons. He, as the High Septons High Sparrow, isn't allowed to try. Obviously, he's influenced these Septons, and we saw that in the next shot with the 7 Septons sat around the 7-pointed star. Obviously, he has told them what he wants the outcome to be, but I think he's just going to kind of watch what's going on. And then we have this last kind of shot in this little section is Loras having someone pull up his head. His hair is shaved, he's looking very scared and very kind of emotionally damaged, like I am after that episode. But yeah, he looks very upset, he looks very kind of worried, and this is his trial. Now, we know that Loras had a real hard time withstanding the Faith's psychological torture, you know, and he was beaten and he was tortured in general, but I think the psychological torture really, really got to him. Because when we saw Marjorie meet him earlier on in the season in the cell, whereas Marjorie was saying they had to stay strong, he was just wanting it to be over. And I think at this point, Loras will do whatever it takes just for it to be over. You know, he'll give up his airship. He'll say he believes in the 7. He'll kind of admit to his crimes. He will do whatever to stop this horrendous torture. Okay, and then we get the kind of next chunk of the trailer, if you will. We get this white raven flying to Winterfell. The white raven is sent from the Citadel and is a sign that winter has come. Finally. So basically, the Citadel has been saying for a while now that summer has ended and the weather has begun to turn. However, there is a brief period between summer and winter that isn't actually winter. It's just kind of the turning towards winter. I think this episode, the Citadel will officially declare that winter has come, hence the white raven. And then there's this little shot of Sansa and Jon saying, we have to trust each other, we have so many enemies now. This is clearly in regard to Littlefinger and the fact that Sansa went behind his back and got Littlefinger's troops. I think Jon is thankful for this because he knows if Sansa hadn't done this, they would have lost the battle and he would most likely be dead or revived and just lost. But I think he is thankful that she did this, but at the same time he's saying, look, I get why you did it in the future, however, you have to trust me and tell me these things. You know, he's saying we have so many enemies. You know, they have kind of the northern houses that were with the Boltons, any of them who are still alive are going to be against them. They have kind of all of the south against them, and then the biggest threat, they have the White Walkers. Jon is saying that Sansa has to trust him and be on his side for them to survive. And then we have this really cute little shot of Jon giving Sansa this little forehead kiss, and it's really sweet because it shows that, you know, even though Sansa went behind his back, Jon understands why she did it and is thankful that she did it, and, you know, they haven't broken this brother-sister bond, and I think that's really, really sweet. And then we pan to the twins, and we haven't really seen much of the twins or Walder Frey since the Red Wedding because, you know, that was kind of his story arc. You know, he got rid of Robb Stark and he recently showed up again with the whole battle for Riverrun. However, now he's coming back even more so. He is saying the Freys and Lannisters send their regards, which is obviously a repeat of what happened in the Red Wedding when Roose Bolton stabbed Robb Stark and said the Lannisters send their regards. Walder Frey is now including himself in that. There's a lot of speculation that this will be Red Wedding 2.0. So the idea is that Jaime is sat there and he's looking kind of smug and, you know, he's got a load of Lannister soldiers in the hall with him. And I think the idea is that the Freys can never be counted on for their loyalty. You know, they've meant to have been loyal to the Tullys for thousands of years. You know, they stabbed their supposed king in the heart and slaughtered his family at the wedding feast. So I think Jaime knows they can't rely on the Freys as allies. They will do whatever is in their self-interest regardless of who they're allied with. If someone else comes and offers them a better deal, Jaime knows they're going to take it. So I think he sees the Freys as a threat and thinks that he needs to take them out and install someone in Riverrun who is loyal and who he knows he can count on. Riverrun is actually a really key seat, as is the Twins. That is the path to the north. And if there are any issues with the north, as Jaime now knows there are because he knows Sansa is taking on Ramsay Bolton and won, he knows there's going to be issues with the north, and so he really wants to secure this area under Lannister control rather than have it under someone who is kind of alliance-wise is a little bit shifty. Then we have this shot of Peter and Sansa, and Sansa is saying, what do you want? And Peter is saying, I thought you knew what I wanted. They're underneath the Godswood outside Winterfell, and okay, so Peter obviously saved the battle against Ramsay Bolton. He came in and he stopped Jon and the rest of his men getting slaughtered. They were pretty fucked. Peter saved the day, as we knew he would. Okay, so basically, Peter Baelish is not a nice person. He is not coming to save Sansa because he feels bad. That is not his character. He does what he does in self-interest. He does not do things for other people because he likes them or he feels sorry for them. He does things for other people if it's going to benefit him. There is no way he would risk Knights of the Vale and risk himself and his reputation just because he feels bad and sorry for Sansa. Yes, I get it, he loved Cat a great deal, and he does kind of has transferred this love onto Sansa. You know, Kat's gone, he can never have her, so he's kind of thinking, right, next best thing, I'll have her daughter. There is no way he did this just to be nice. He is doing this probably because he wants to marry Sansa. He knows Jon is a bastard, so Jon will never have the truest claim on Winterfell. Whoever marries Sansa will have the truest claim on Winterfell, and I am betting Baelish plans that to be him. He has House Arryn, he has the Vale, and then he could also have the North. That's 2 kingdoms. He could possibly make a claim on Riverrun in Sansa's Tully heritage. That's 3 kingdoms. We know what Littlefinger wants. He wants the Iron Throne, he wants the 7 kingdoms, and even though, yes, he did love Cat, and I think in a weird way he does love Sansa, he is motivated by what he wants. He is motivated by the fact that he wants to be king, and I think for him this is another step towards that by bringing the Starks into his kind of ally, bringing them in, making sure that they stay on his side in his bid for power. And then we have Davos, Melisandre and Jon, who lost their fucking shit when Davos found that pyre. Okay, so basically Davos here has revealing that he knows Melisandre burned Shireen to death, and he is demanding an explanation from her. I mean, I don't think he's going to stop at an explanation. He is going to want her executed for this. You know, he had this great love for Shireen. Whereas Davos, you know, she taught him to read, he always visited her, he really cared for her. And so this is a real blow to him. And I think Davos here is demanding, tell him what you did to her, tell him. And he is demanding retribution for Shireen. The most interesting thing about this kind of snippet of film, though, isn't Davos, it's Melisandre. She looks genuinely regretful, you know? And I think with this whole crisis of faith she had, and now she knows she has new powers that the Lord has given her to revive Jon Snow, I genuinely think she regrets what she did, you know? It was in vain. Yes, it stopped the storm, but Stannis still lost. So in my eyes, she actually looks pretty sad. And I think that'll be really interesting to see how Melisandre plays this. Okay, and then we have a flash of Bran. Literally that. Nothing, just his face. I think that's just to show us that Bran will be showing up in the season final. It's showing us, you know, that Bran isn't done for the season. We will be seeing him again. And there's a lot of speculation around what this could be. Could Bran be passing through the wall, i.e. bringing the White Walkers with him? Could Bran be having his flashback towards the Tower of Joy? Because in the trailer 2, I believe it was, or the Red Band trailer, we get a flash of what is presumed to be Lyanna Stark lying in a puddle of her own blood with someone's hand next to her. And a lot of people are saying Tower of Joy is going to be this. We're going to find R plus L equals J is going to be confirmed in the last episode of the season. Okay, and then we have this clip of Dany and Dario, and she looks kind of sad. I'm wondering whether this will be Dany getting married, or possibly she's breaking off her relationship with Dario. I don't know, but she looks kind of sad. She doesn't look like a happy person. Maybe she's dumping him for Yara. I support it. Support it. Okay, and then we have this shot of this person walking. Now, this refers to what I said at the start about Cersei and her bigger plan. So everyone thought this was Stannis, and I fucking freaked out because I also thought it was Stannis. Guys, it's probably not, let's be real. How many times can they rehash the bring a character back to life trope? Maybe once more. Just once more. Just for Stannis. No. Everyone's saying it's probably Lancel, because you can see kind of when you slow it down and bring up the light in it, you can see chains on his shoulders. So it's probably Lancel, and this kind of, for me, gives a little flash to what Cersei may be planning. It's possible she could be planning to have Lancel killed. How can he testify against her and say she tried to kill Robert Baratheon and succeeded, and say she had an incestuous relationship with him if he's dead? If he can't testify against you, job done. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think Lancel's probably going to meet his maker this episode. Okay, and then we have this shot of Dany and Tyrion talking about heading to Westeros. So Tyrion's saying this epic line where he says, "You're in the great game now, and the great game is terrifying." I think this is talking about and alluding that Dany is going to make her way to Westeros. He is saying, look, you've been hanging out in Slavers Bay. You've been kind of affirming yourself as queen, but now is the time, and you're going to play the Game of Thrones, and you're going to go home. Not really home, though, because she grew up in Bravos. Not the point. Anyway, I think that's what they're alluding to. Dany is going to go to Westeros, and kind of I'm betting, because they love ending season finales on Dany, this season finale will end on Dany heading back to Westeros. I can't believe we have to wait a year. But guys, did you hear? Oh my god, how have I not mentioned this before? Apparently, Winds of Winter is being released in January 2017. I'm fucking freaking out. Like, to be able to watch the show without being an anxious puddle of sadness will be beautiful. I mean, I'll be an anxious puddle of sadness when I read the book, but to be able to watch the show knowing what's going to happen will literally bring down my blood pressure. Okay, so that is the breakdown of the season 6 finale trailer for Game of Thrones. I hope you got some insight, I hope you enjoyed it, and I apologise for how much I mentioned in the last episode. Did I mention how good it was? Did I? It was so good. But yeah, I do hope you enjoyed, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, requests, do comment below. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and I will be back probably in a few days. Got some videos in the planning that I really want to do, so I'll probably be doing them soon. Okay, so I'll see you soon, guys. Bye!